Alrighty, hello everyone. My name is Renee Scuddy, and I'm back with my co-host Liz Collinin for another episode of Walking in Our Shoes. Today we are talking about stereotypes. So that'll be everything that we've experienced as a result of our disabilities. Some of it from me is from the experiences that I've had on college campuses. For Lizzie, it's things that she's experienced with work. So it's those kinds of things. Without further ado, I'll let Lizzie tell you more about her experience.
Hey guys, stereotypes for me with work is different. So there are some places that I do the interview, I do it well, all that. Then I've and don't hear anything back. I've had an interview where I went into Walmart to do the interview and they got confused because they literally asked me, which is fun, is that they asked me to literally because they saw that I have SSI disability when I have SSI, which is two different things. So they wouldn't have my interview because of that.
Just because you're receiving SSI, they wouldn't do the interview?
Yeah.
You're kidding.
Well, no, I did the interview. They just wouldn't hire me because of it. Because literally the first thing they asked is if I whatever which would I get, disability or SSI income, which they're not legally allowed to say or ask.
Yeah, that's one of those legal, you're not allowed to ask. Like, you're not allowed to ask, are you married? Do you have children? You're not allowed to ask any of those things. As a prospective employer, you're not allowed to ask any of those things.
Yeah.
That's
Then
insane.
yeah. Then I've had really good interviews where before the current job that I'm currently having with the government is where the I work for PSS, which is a company that worked for the government for many years. I was there for 4.5 years, and that interview was absolutely amazing. The first four and a half years I was there.
Okay.
Then I stopped there and went into substitute teaching, which was good. It actually was a lot of fun.
You told me
The,
about that. Yep.
yeah. Then I've had then when I decided to go back into the government because of they found out that they needed someone to take over the position that I previous previously had as a part-time
Hmm.
job. I what I mean by part-time is like I would do 3 days, someone would do 2 days kind of thing.
Oh, yeah, kind of like a rotating shift thing.
Yeah, I did that for 4.5 years. Then what they did is I found out from a friend of mine who actually works for the government, who used to be the building coordinator for my building. Then they he got promoted to another position. Then that one who took over that had my job
Yeah.
went up a little bit to that position. Then what happened was, which is absolutely hilarious, you're gonna laugh, is I called my friend to ask if that position was opened. He said it was. So he gave me the contact information from my old boss. I got it from him and I called him to ask him for that position. And he said, "How did you find out?"
As if I'm not supposed to be talking to my former coworkers. Like,
Yeah,
oh.
it was funny though. Within 24 hours, I got the job. I'm not kidding.
As if you're not supposed to be talking to your former coworkers. Like, what's the deal?
Mhm. So I took that position, and the best part of that is that he asked me to double check with my dad to see if it was okay for him. So what that was the funniest line. ever. And when I literally called my dad to ask him if that was okay, he said, "Really?" He literally asked that, and I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "He needs to get a mind of his own. He needs to understand that if I am putting in for it, that means that he's okay for it."
Yeah, right. Right.
So then there was a time where I had to train another person to take over the afternoon shift before the one that I had before. So they
Yeah.
had the morning shift and the afternoon shift. I would do the morning shift.
Yeah.
Then I had to train the other person, which I know personally through my church, through our
Right.
church. I don't think you know her.
I don't think so.
I
But
know
I
her.
do I do think you've told me about it though. Told me
Yes.
about her.
Yeah, she's really sweet. I love her. And she's one of the nicest girls I had. And she's actually about your age.
Really?
Yeah. Her grandmother was actually the one who trained me originally.
Oh, cool.
So her grandmother trained me, then I trained her granddaughter. How cool is that?
That's really cool. It's nice how it goes full circle too. Like
Yeah,
you know someone and then it goes full circle.
yeah. So that was pretty much the fun of that. And then, so that's pretty much what I had to deal with so far.
Ugh. I'm sorry. It's just it isn't fair. The next best thing we can do is to do something like this and share our experience and uh get it out there so that people are aware that hey, this is a real thing that happens.
Hmm.
You know, um because if you don't experience it yourself, how do you know that it actually happens, you know?
Yep.
Um Alrighty. I guess that means it's my turn now, huh?
Yes, it is.
Alrighty. So, as you guys know, I mentioned this in a previous episode. Um, I was a student at Millersville studying social work for 3.5 years. So, that was in the immediate aftermath of my senior year. So, that was the
Well,
fall of 2018.
mm,
So, pretty much what happened was we had to fill out all these forms with these are all the accommodations that I'll need, everything from like the grab bars in the bathroom and the shower to I'm gonna need my bed lowered. I'm gonna need, because those beds were pretty high off the floor. And for me to be able to climb onto the bed, that wasn't gonna be easy unless it had been lowered because they were so high off the ground. Um, But one of the things that my parents had asked for and that I had asked for was an automatic, the buttons that you can push with the automatic doors.
hmm
Um, because leading to the dorm rooms themselves, not the individual bedrooms, not the rest of the hallways and everything, the dorm rooms themselves and
hmm
into like from the lobby. Those doors are big and heavy. They're fire doors. So it's big, they're heavy, and they're bulky. So to really open them, you really have to push on them.
Which I know it's hard for you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And so at that point, as you guys know, I think I mentioned in another episode, I used a scooter to get around campus because
Yeah.
while Millersville is not a big sprawling campus, it's somewhere in the middle. Like it's not small, but it's not huge either. So, but even for long distances like that, I use a scooter because sometimes walking long distances is uh difficult in certain circumstances. So, um But so one of the things that we had requested was an automatic button on the doors so that it would be easier for me to get out, especially in the case of an emergency. Like, if have got a fire drill or whatever, I need to get out of the building, you know.
Yeah.
So we put that in the paperwork. Um, Now,
Isn't
mind you,
that isn't that when they literally didn't do that?
yes. Now mind you, this is, let's see, this is December 2017, November, December 2017.
Yeah.
So I'm still a senior in high school. They have all this time to do everything they need to do and, settle everything, get all that taken care of. And fast forward 8.5 months. It's now August of 2018. I show up for my orientation. Guess what's missing?
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding. Instead of, well, I did spend a fair amount of time at the orientation itself, but I spent an equal amount of time pretty much talking to the Office of Disability Services, whatever that's called, whatever that office was,
Oh,
basically trying to tell them that this wasn't done. Both of my parents and I were upset. My parents were upset because it wasn't done. I was upset, A, because it wasn't done, B, because I'd been looking forward to this for so much time that, I was looking forward to it because let's be honest, if you're a student, a first-time college student,
yeah.
I think one of the things you look forward to is independence, to be honest. I think at least I did because, I knew that I could be on my own. So it was, for me, it was kind of like I can, do my own thing on my own, time, and it is a lot initially, especially if you're a first time college student. It is a lot when you're trying to figure out how to A, navigate a campus, B, figure out a good time management schedule, uh, and, just navigate that on your own. So, long story short, I ended up leaving campus not too long after all that happened. And then, my parents started talking to me about,
Going to HCC.
no, 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 not yet.
Ah.
Then they started talking to me about, well, if you want to do online classes, we can. We can do that. Um, And eventually, that's what I ended up doing for my first semester of college. My very first semester of college was completely online. Um, and I
Were
have
you
to be
s-
honest,
were you
what?
still at home at the time?
Yes, I wasn't in the dorm room. I was at home. My first semester of college. Looking back, it was hard because that was a complete and total, shock to me. I had never done a full-fledged college course online. I had never done anything like that. So that came with its own share of ups and downs. It took me, I would say, about a week to 2 weeks to really find my footing and
Mm,
to figure out how to navigate it. Um, Once you do, it's not hard. It's
mm,
just the the prospect of having to navigate that and deal with all this other stuff that's going on, um, is a lot. So fast forward, that semester's finished. And then I started talking to them over winter break about, you know, can we come by to see, everything, to make sure everything's done for
mm-hmm.
spring semester. Um, so we did that. We came back and it was done. What we needed was there. It wasn't working properly. So,
Mm.
what we ended up doing was we ended up
Oh.
calling someone to have to
Mm.
fix, the door and everything and you know, at that point it was a question of okay, my parents gave me two options. You either do online classes again or and and at the end of the semester we take you out and you don't come back or you stay here and you work your way around it and we deal with it and you take classes. I chose to take classes there. Otherwise, so let's look at it this way. If I had left, I would not know what I know now. Had I not stayed, I wouldn't have gone through that internship that ultimately made me realize that I was in the wrong profession.
Yeah.
So, as much as that hurt, it took me some time to really, truly appreciate the um the good and the bad in that situation.
Mhm.
Eventually, it taught me that I was in the wrong profession. I decided to go into radio, and long story short, here I am, having graduated from the community college, having started that after everything at Millersville. I started in August of 22 at the community college. The people that I worked with at the community college were absolutely fantastic. Um, and they taught me everything I know about podcasting, and I absolutely love it. So, if there are any people from the community college and they know who they are, who are watching this right now and who taught me everything I know about podcasting, thank you so, so much to all of you who taught me this.
I forgot to tell you, you ever heard of Doors? I forgot to add that story in.
Doors, yeah, I think so.
So I originally they wanted me to go into the Doors program, which they're supposed to try to help people with disabilities find a job.
Right, right.
So I was with the my person that was supposed to help me,
Hmm.
and she did not tell me. Well, there were some times where I fell in front of her
Okay.
completely by accident. She pulled my chair without me with from under me without telling me,
Geez, at least give me some warning.
and I fell. She had a huge hissy fit about that, and then literally said I can't work with her anymore. Then when I got the job that I had now, no problems. They have no problems with my disability. They actually gave me more responsibility. So the job that I have gave me more responsibility in the 4.5 years I was there.
Anything else you want to talk about?
Nothing I know of.
Alrighty. So that is everything that we have for you this week. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section or send us a message. We'll leave our contact information in the description. Next week is our much anticipated Q&A.
Q&A.
So if you have, again, questions, send them to us, leave them in the comments, and we will address them next week. Until next time, my name's Renee Scuddy.
I'm Elizabeth Cullinan.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care.